Well, that's convenient. I love this. I can even sit on that. Oh, that's even better. Hello and welcome to Freiburg. Freiburg is a super pretty city. Where I came here with the tram, it's like, you look outside, it's so like nice and the houses are cute, and then I walk through the inner city and there's this little watery thing and I'm like, oh, this is so cute, everything here. And also the people seem nice, although I didn't interact with them yet. But I finally made it up on the Schlossberg. Like, finally. That was my goal for so long. I got recommended to come to Freiburg on my first Interrail trip, and that was, I don't know, 10 years ago, I have no idea. Long time ago. On my first Interrail trip when I came here, it was snowing. I specifically came to Freiburg, but then it was snowing. I was like, I'm not gonna walk through the snow with my backpack. So I took the next train to somewhere else in France. And then when I went to Black Forest Fusion, I went via Stuttgart and not via Freiburg. And last time I was in Freiburg, I just stayed here for one night somewhere here in one of the hostels and then left early in the morning. So I never got to explore Freiburg really until today. Today we're here, up on the Schlossberg, somewhere on the viewing platform, making an update. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about. I wanna just freestyle this. Welcome to LVlog 40. I have no idea. Should we just pump up to 40? It's probably 36. So I'm in Freiburg for a Zug festival that happened last weekend, since Friday until yesterday. And oh man, so good. Yeah, Freiburg. Zug. I don't know how they do it. Like, Freiburg, not only is it a pretty city, and it's a pretty city, but also I think it's like Bristol, one of those cities that has a certain set of values that is, I guess, pretty lefty, because Freiburg has a fusion community and Freiburg has a very open Zug community. Like, I danced with one of the organizers of the Zug festival and I was testing how she reacts to leading that is not Zug. She was laughing that I led that, and then I was like, I'm just testing you if you're okay with me leading non-Zug stuff. And then she was like, you know, what is Zug? Zug is what we make it, basically. And I'm like, okay, so this is the attitude here. I like it. And that's also, I mean, I knew that before. Dana told me that the people here are very, you know, fusiony in their Zug. So that's a reason why I came here. And I really enjoyed it. Like, it's so nice. Because also if it's so fusiony, then I'm happy dancing with beginners. There was one in particular, she was just so flowy, like not a lot of Zug structure in her dance. And I could just play with her, it was just so nice. I just danced fusion with her. And that's so nice, because if you really want to dance strict Zug, then I don't want to dance with beginners on a marathon, on a festival, because there's only so little time that I have for dancing, and I want to dance like nice dances and not get other like, there's an argument to be made that we should dance with beginners. Of course we should, and I do that in Vienna to build the community, and I do that at the fusion events. But when I go to a marathon that I pay for, where I already don't get to dance with everybody that I do want to dance with, that I, you know, don't make it too important to dance with beginners. And so I had to give a few no's, and was like, also there were too many, or there were more followers than leaders, so we were in good demand. But it was a really nice festival. So fusiony, so open, so cuddly. I had so many good dancers. And for the first time ever, there was a couple of two men who were teaching switching, essentially. Role rotation, they called it. And it's like, that's switching! I want that to become part of Zug, because I want to follow and lead. And I learned some really cool switch moves. So that was great. That was really nice. I kind of want to bring that to Vienna. Maybe I should ask Kata if she wants to teach that with me. Because that's not, in Zug that's not common. In fusion it is very much so. You have your switchy dances where you rotate in the dance. But in Zug I've never really seen that before. You might switch in the sense that one person leads, then next song the other person leads, but not in the dance. I haven't really seen that before. So that was really nice, and that is really fun. Yeah, so the organizers here really did a really nice job. We had 2 dance floors, and during the day we had 3 rooms with 2 workshop rooms and 1 marathon room. It was really good, and I really enjoyed the music, and some of the workshops were really great. Some of them were frustrating because I was like, I can't lead this. Many reasons, don't want to get into it. But yeah, overall I'm really happy with that festival. I'm so glad that I came here. I got to know a few really nice people, and I couldn't even talk with or dance or connect with everyone. Of course not, because there were so many people and there was so little time. It was just 3 days, and the last day yesterday just went until 10 in the evening, and then it was over. And I was like, no, I want to do it more. Even though I already feel my legs. On the first day I felt my knee a bit, but yeah, otherwise my body's doing well. Except for some dances where I compensate my back because I hold people that don't have the stability themselves. I'm good. I just feel my legs from the, you know, dancing a lot, because essentially I get there at 12, then there's workshops, then there's a 2-hour break, and then there's party until 3. So I danced pretty much 13 hours in a day, which is not bad. And I'm gonna do pretty much the same thing next weekend, starting on Friday, Castle of Miracles in the Netherlands. Oh, that's gonna be so good as well. Brandon Anderson's gonna be there, so therefore we know that the vibe is gonna be very flowy, cuddly, not so strict, tough souk, because they're different, you know. And nothing against the tough stuff, it's just not what I prefer. I can do it partly, but I really prefer the super soft leading as well as dancing that. Yeah, so I feel really nourished from that weekend, and that tells me one thing about myself, which is really the one key thing that I'm lacking when I'm back in Vienna is the connection. That's a need that people have, and I seem to have a very strong need for that, because once that was met here with the festival, with so many people here, I felt so loved. Like I felt like people here actually care, and you have this connection, and it's so, and because I had that, I felt like really complete, like really good. I felt like I'm not missing anything, I'm not wasting my life. Whereas when I'm in Vienna, there's always this feeling of, or not always, but there's often this, I'm still missing something. And it's not that I'm hungry, and it's not that I'm tired, and I'm not anxious, but I guess I'm lonely. So this need got met this weekend. So I noticed it on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and still now I feel so, good. It's just, life is good, kind of. You know, I'm on that high of endorphins, I guess, or whatever it is. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. Right now I'm like, I can live my life like that. Oh, and maybe that's it. That's what we talk about today. I need to give you an update on the woman I was dating in Vienna, right? Because last video I said, oh, I'm dating someone, it feels great. And that's over. Not so great anymore. It's just not anymore. It's not that it's not great, it's just not, it's like, it's just over, you know? And I kind of don't like, it was a bit abrupt, this ending. Wow, I haven't made a video in a long time, because then I didn't even report on Kaleidoscope. Festival in Bristol, Kaleidoscope, Fusion, also such a great festival. And again, I connected with people, and again, I felt really good there. But there, I didn't allow myself to fully, you know, do something with other people, because I was still like in this, oh no, but I'm dating someone in Vienna and they wouldn't feel good with me, you know, doing something with someone else. So I blocked it and was like, I would like to go further, they would like to, but then no, we don't do that. And the sad story is that after I came back and I wanted to meet with the person I was dating, she said, nah, she needs a bit more space. And then the next day she was like, nah, she doesn't want to have contact at all with me anymore. I was like, okay. I mean, that's a bit rough for me. It was a bit rough for me. I felt a bit hurt, because I imagined that I am too much for her, and that she needs to strictly be like, oh, she basically needs to fully withdraw in order to protect herself from me, which just doesn't feel good, you know? It's just, and of course she will have her own stories about why that is, and I obviously don't have the full picture, but I certainly did take that personal on the, oh, I'm not safe enough that she could, you know, go through that with me. She needed to withdraw completely to protect herself, and that was like, okay, so, because I thought we had such a good connection and that we can talk about everything, and that kind of proved that maybe we can't. Maybe I'm not safe enough, or whatever it is that, and if her strategy for dealing with conflict is this whole withdrawal and not talking with me, where my strategy for dealing with conflict is talking about everything, that just doesn't work. And there were other things that already didn't work. Why she basically broke up with me in the first place. That was even before Kaleidoscope, but then we were kinda still in an exploratory, let's see where this goes phase. And then there was, after Kaleidoscope, the complete, she doesn't want to see me anymore. So that was a bit rough. Yeah, and now I'm in the, okay, that just didn't work, I'm okay. But shortly after, I had this short phase of, oh man, I'm still not at the point where I want to be. I thought I would be so much further already. I could deal with, you know, conflict and emotions and stuff, but apparently I can't. I still need to learn something. There's something wrong with me. I've been there. And in the, I don't know, week or two of that time, I kind of decided, you know what? I need to let go of the idea that I want to have children, or that I need to have children, because for now it was always so much this is my goal, and I'm not making enough progress towards it, and I'm like struggling and but with that feeling of, okay, it just doesn't work. I had a person where I really thought that would work, because I judged them to be emotionally far enough that should work, you know, and then it didn't, and I was like, fuck, not even with her, you know? So that was kind of, and I was like, maybe I just need to decide that it's okay if I never have children. And I don't even know if I'm fully, I don't want to show this, but I like my purple shirt. At that point, I don't even know if I actually believe that myself, if I'm actually there yet, you know? I think there's still part of me that strongly believes, oh, we want that. And don't get me wrong, I can still want that. And I do want that, but it's more of the being able to let go in case it doesn't happen. So also the in case it doesn't happen needs to be okay. That's kind of where I want to get to, because otherwise I might pressure myself too much. I really don't want to do that. I don't even know what I can, like, I heard that in one podcast that one person doesn't have a to-do list, but kind of the opposite, a kind of a let go list. He called it differently, but like where every birthday he makes a list of things being okay if they don't happen, kind of. And maybe I want to do that. Maybe I need to put that on the list. Because I guess my life would also be good without having children of my own. Because it wouldn't mean that it would be a life without children. There are children in this world. I can somehow interact with other children that are not mine. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, even completely without children, I enjoy my life, which currently is proof. I feel very good in my body, in my life, in the world. If I would feel similar to how I felt this weekend for the rest of my life, I guess that would be just fine. And I don't need to go through this whole project of having children, which also comes with a lot of other challenges and stuff, and probably hard feelings as well. And like, but I think still that's worth it. And again, I want to get to the point where I'm also okay not getting that. And that might be even more important for women, where it's like there is a timeline. And I talk to people, women specifically, who are saying exactly that. Oh, they wanted to, and now they're at that point where like, it's okay if it doesn't happen. And I noticed, oh, I'm not at that point yet. And maybe I get to that point at some point in the future. I kind of want to, because I kind of want it to be okay if it doesn't happen. Because I guess that also then probably makes it easier for it to actually happen. Besides, I still have time, like I'm young, you know, but if I imagine myself in the future when I'm like 60 and I'm alone, then that's a very like sad picture for me. But I want it to be hey, I could just, you know, live the life as I do now, which is not a bad way of living, where I connect with many people and not just one person that I don't have a family with. You know, it's just, you can connect with, you know, there's other approaches to life, and that would work too. Or maybe I want to adopt children, or whatever it is, right? There are other possibilities, and I just want to be able to let go and say, hey, it would be okay. I would be okay if that doesn't happen. And that didn't fully happen, but I now have that spark of, this is the direction I'm going to, more and more letting go of it. And then if it still happens, great. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't, you know, all good, kind of. So yeah, that was on my mind in the past month. Also lots of stories about war, and yeah, that's still active. I keep watching those videos and I'm like, maybe I want to move to Switzerland. Switzerland has a good record of, you know, digging bunkers and not getting involved in war, so maybe I want to be there. But then again, Austria is also probably not too dangerous at the moment, and I can still move. As long as I can still move, I should be good. And there's an argument to be made, should you even put children into this world if it goes... But yeah, my argument is, yeah, you should. Like, one of the major issues that we're gonna have in the next decades is our population getting old and there just not being enough young people to cover that. So that's gonna... Yeah. So in that way, I kind of want to do my part and, you know, participate in the whole, you know, what society needs. But it's more a selfish, I want that. I want to experience that. I want to know what it's like, you know, even though it seems difficult as well. But then seek discomfort. Do what challenges you. I don't want to get bored in my life, you know. Boredom is bad. A good challenge is good. It shouldn't be too much that I'm like completely crumbling and getting depressed, but I guess it would provide challenges. And now I'm talking to myself again, like I want this, I want this to happen, but no, also I can put myself into situations and give myself challenges even without being in a relationship or having children. You know? And I want to be okay with that, which at the moment I still struggle with. At least this weekend and probably the next one, I'm like, nah, it's fine. it's fine as things are right now. I feel good right now. If that would be my life, I'd be happy. So much connection at such a festival that it's really, yeah, I'm good. I'm good with that. I don't feel like I'm missing out, even though I am missing out on other things. But even at the festival, I'm missing out. There are 3 tracks in parallel. You can't be everywhere. You know, it's like, and you can't dance with everyone at the same time. It's like, ah. But it's good. It's yeah, it was really nice. So I seek those places. I seek those places where I can be myself, and I can easily connect with other people. And dance, especially Zouk and also Fusion, really helps me connect with other people. It's just such an easy way to get a common, I don't know what it is, with those kind of people, I don't know. It's like you sit next to them, they ask you if you want to dance, I'm like, I need a break for now, put my hand softly on their leg, we start holding hands. It's just, we've never met and that just happens. This is not normal, clearly, but I really enjoy that, and I really like those kinds of people where I can be like that and do that. And at the same time, I need to be super careful with boundaries, because not everybody manages to express their boundaries so clearly and might not even be aware of them and stuff. So it's really also, I need to train myself in that regard to be super aware of those things. And I think I'm doing well on that front as well. I did check in with a few people as well this weekend and got good feedback. And they also appreciated it a lot that I do that. So yeah, that's an important topic, especially in dance, especially if we get close. I had one more intimate connection as well. We even kissed. It's nice if both people are up for that. And I don't see that going somewhere more serious though, even though I really enjoyed it and I would like to see her again. But again, a woman from Switzerland. Maybe I'll come visit her at some point. And maybe not. And maybe it should have been just this weekend and this kind of this nice experience. Because I met her before, actually, at another festival, at the Fusion Festival. And I'm pretty sure we danced, but, you know, there it didn't go any further. I have no memory of it being a bad dance or a great dance, but I knew that I knew her. And then here on the Zouk floor, because she was one of those beginners that don't really do much Zouk, but then do the full Fusion, and then I enjoyed that as well. So I danced with her the most, because she was just so flowy and I could just... This is so good. Yeah, Zouk and Fusion, they actually blend really well as well, if people let it blend. Let's not talk about Dance Blender, because that's a sad story as well. The organizer of that, I asked him if I can go to that because I have a ticket, but he doesn't want me at his local events anymore. And so I asked if I can be there, and then I didn't get a response, so... So life is good. Life is good. I can live like that. That's fine. And I still work a little bit on the train, editing my videos. And actually, I had a super high motivation. I want to record more videos in the time where I was home in Vienna, because I want my green screen and my second monitor for recording and my microphones and stuff. So I had a phase of like 2 weeks where I just recorded, and I really enjoyed that as well. I started to really enjoy my work for Solana Foundation again, because at parts it already felt like, oh, it's work that I need to do to earn money, but now I'm like, there's so many interesting things that I can talk about in those videos, and it's learning, and I'm curious, and I like that. So I start to also enjoy that. Not so much the editing, but that's just stuff that I gotta do. And partly it's also fun seeing myself enjoying what I do in the video. So yeah, that's nice. So that's also cool. So it's going well. It's going well career-wise. I'm getting a new contract to get paid even a little more. And yeah, actually I have no reason to complain that my life would be so bad. Because it certainly is not. Like the fact that I can be here on a, what is it, Monday? Okay, now it's Easter holiday, but like I don't do holidays. That's just every week is the same. Like I could be here on a regular Monday or Tuesday or any day, right? It's just, you know, it's great. I love it. I love my freedom. I love my health. And those were my values. And fun fact, they also changed. I made a video about that once, long time ago, on another Schlossberg actually, in Graz. And I might make an update on that in a separate video. But maybe just short, I recently noticed that my values changed because I now value interaction with humans. Like I have an idea, a framework of how I want to interact with other people and how I want to be interacted with. And at the core of all of that is consent. So clearly, I think consent is one of my values now. And I didn't have that on my radar at all at the previous video that I made about my values. So that's clearly one thing. So consent and authenticity, that I can be myself and that I let others be themselves. I don't want to change anyone. And I'm more and more okay with people do things differently, and that's fine. And they have their reasons to do stuff the way they do it. And, you know, this whole individualistic thinking, I'm a fan of that. I don't want the government or whoever is in power dictate what I gotta do or what other people gotta do. I don't, you know, fuck autocracies. So those are certainly additions to my values. Second one still being freedom, but phrased a bit differently. Freedom, you can do whatever you want until it gets to the point where it negatively influences other people. And that whole thing is getting complicated because what influences other people? Well, it influences me if you drive your SUV on the street because I need to inhale those exhausts if I'm cycling there. You know, at that point it gets complicated, so there's a bigger topic that I don't want to cover today. But it's cool that we can just think about it, and like that I can think about it because I have the resources to think about it because I have no other problems in my life. Yeah, I think I dealt somewhat well with the breakup. I mean, we never were together, but it kind of felt somewhat serious, and now it's like over. And in the beginning I felt hurt and not so good. But now I'm like, now that kind of is over. I'm back to zero, which in the beginning felt really bad. Oh shit, I'm back to zero. But now I'm like, oh no, it wasn't the right person and I'm okay. So yeah, I'm proud of myself dealing with that and allowing feelings to come up and allowing to feel all of that and then now being okay again. And that's cool. Yeah, it taught me stuff, certainly. I wish I could have learned more and really understand what I did that made her withdraw so intensely. But you know, it's not, and that's important as well, an important lesson. It's not her responsibility to teach me anything. She doesn't owe me anything. Because I partly had this belief that I can't grow if other people don't tell me what I'm doing wrong. And yeah, it's difficult, but also it is not their responsibility to teach me. That's very important because I know other people who have that mindset. Well, if there's something that they don't like, then they need to talk to me. Yeah, well, they try to, and you're being an asshole and you're still being not nice to them, and then they withdraw, and that's understandable. So, you know, it's not their job, right? So it's nobody's job to teach me except for my own, and I gotta seek the help that I need to understand those things. And I can certainly ask for help from the person as well, but I need to respect their boundaries. If they say, no, I'm not gonna help you with that, then that's fine, you know. Nobody owes me anything, that's important. And I don't owe anybody anything as well. That's my freedom. Yeah, and with those kind of values, I think that's how I want to navigate my life. And maybe with this, the way I navigate my life, I will meet someone where things are going well enough to go further. But you know, I want to be also okay with just staying here and developing myself to somewhere else. I mean, I don't know where I could even still go. Because the same way how I didn't know 5 years ago that I could get to the place where I'm currently at, where I really understand consent and like have a whole new concept of how to deal with people and like how I want to interact, that's all still pretty new. I wish I had that from, you know, when I was 10 years old. Wow, my life would have been so different if I would have had those competences when I was at school. But at school I was still struggling with so many other things. It was like crazy. Couldn't even talk to girls and anything. It's like, if I had my mindset back then, I would have been like a completely different person. Also at school, like I would have cared so much less about my grades and about, you know, performing well in school and focused way more about like social connection. But in a way it was also good how it was. Back then I was such a, you know, logic driven person and just knowledge driven person as well, where now I'm like, I mean, yeah, knowledge is great, but I'm okay. Like I have a bunch of that, you know, my technical background, my computer science education and everything. I have that, there's a bunch of knowledge there, but then I kind of stopped seeking so much of it. Like I'm still curious, I still want to know more, but I'm not driven by it anymore. I'm not, like my goal is not to acquire more knowledge anymore, which it kind of was at parts of my life, which is fun to observe how those things change. I'm getting really excited talking about that now that I allow myself to be loud again because nobody's here around me. Yeah, oh, so good. Oh, and the weather, look at the weather. Wow, isn't that fucking lit? I mean, the sky is so blue and the city is so cute. And the sky is so hot. Hot damn. Yeah, it's good. I like it. I like my life. I think I'm doing well. And even though I still haven't figured it out, like what my point is, like why do I live? I still can't answer that. I still don't have a life goal, a life mission or whatever. And maybe in 5 years I will, and maybe not, and maybe never. And it's okay if I never, right? I watched my granddad die and he was like, yeah, I'm good, I can die, kind of. It's a circle of life, and maybe it's just, and maybe it is really just about experiencing it for myself, and maybe it is making an impact for other people as well. And even if I can't influence, because I can't influence what's happening in China and in other places of the world where people get jailed and killed and raped and like horrible things happen to people all around the world, even in this day and age. And I watch some videos and then I kind of feel bad for them, and at the same time I'm like, yeah, I mean that's happening and I can't do anything about it. But what I can do is interact with the people I interact with in the way that I want to interact with people and that I want people to interact with me, and kind of building that surrounding about myself, even if it's just a bubble, that's fine. Even if we're just a bubble of people who have those values and who do interact like that, you know, maybe those bubbles grow and be like, and slowly spread, and those values stay around even if the governments get completely crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of what's happening in the US, but you know, whatever. I used to be pretty, yeah, USA. But then if you look at it from the east side, like not the west, if you look at, you know, China, Russia, and you try to empathize with them, it suddenly makes so much sense why they're acting the way they do. And that understanding also helps me deal with that, where it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, that makes them go to war. It's just so obvious, you know, it's just, right? Can't even judge, I mean, you can judge them, yes, but from a Western perspective, we judge them because we suppress them. And we suppress them because we don't like their values, maybe. So are my values now more important than yours? Do I want to forcefully force my values on other people? I mean, kinda yes, but also kinda no, because that would, you know, limit their freedom. But it's not, it's the people, you know, it's the people. I just am against the, you know, governing structures that then impose the values on the people. So I'm like, they do that, so I kinda, I don't know, it's a difficult topic. But one last thing that I want to share, which was a crazy realization that I don't know why it took me so long. I'm values driven, which means anybody, any person can take those values, and it is not connected to genetics, which is so interesting, because when I watch those videos about, you know, why conflicts occur, why there's war, it's usually about ethnicity. It's like ethnic groups that feel like they belong together, they fight wars against other ethnic groups over some territorial or resources. And it's the same, you know, same with Russia. They started the war to protect the Russians in those areas. I mean, right? And it's the Russians, so it's always the ethnicity that's got to do with genes, right? It's like population, they come from here, origins kind of. Second World War, same story. And that crazy person even went further and, you know, also included religions, not just race. In that sense, however, you do not want to compare yourself with Hitler. But in that case, it's even closer, because values, are religion also just a values thing? Maybe, and then it gets dangerous again. But my point is, anybody can, you know, take on my values or the values of consent and authenticity and letting other people do their thing and this kind of respectful living together. That was just such an interesting realization that I had when I was thinking about that topic of having my own children. Because, should I continue more? Elon Musk, that crazy has his own freaking sperm bank where women can go and get his sperm, I heard from a friend, because I wouldn't, you know, figure that out myself. But that's kind of crazy, and at the same time it makes perfect sense for him as the person who he is. And, you know, he wants his genes to, you know, yeah, he wants more people like him, and that's a race thing, I guess, or a narcissist thing, I don't know. And I realized, why do I want children? Is it the same? And I'm like, no. I mean, I can teach my values to also other people of different genes. Yet, I keep talking about I want my own children. I don't know why exactly, but in a way, I guess I also have this trait of, well, I like how I am. So, okay. I don't know, maybe makes it easier for them to take my values, but I guess that's purely an educational, like a community thing, and doesn't really have anything to do with genes. So I could totally adopt if I can't have my own children. So that actually is a realization that I just have now, that hey, now that I know this, that it's about values and not genes, maybe adopting is just fine. Or even better, skipping the first 2 years and finding a partner who already has a young child and then raising them together, you know, that, I mean, because that's when they start taking on values. So that should also work. I don't need to have my own children. And that's one step to the, I don't need to have children at all. So I made progress in this video. I did make progress. Yeah, so talking about those things really helps. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna end this now. There are more people coming up here. And I give this thing free again. Whee! And I will see you in the next one. Or not, whatever. I mainly make this for me. I don't know really why I do this. I want to keep this kind of a vlog for myself, just to look back to it. What my values were in 2025, consent and authenticity. And there's probably more, but I would need to think about it. So yeah, best wishes from Freiburg. Come to Freiburg, it's such a beautiful city. Come see it if you can. And come dance Zouk and Fusion here. Or anywhere, well, not anywhere, somewhere where people are nice. Because it's about the people, not about the dance. The dance is just a means to an end, and the end is connection, for me. Alright, make it back up. That was important, those are my old values. Freedom and health, my not so old values. Consent and authenticity to you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.